How's everyone this morning? Is it Squirrel Sniper? Sniper, how are you feeling? Shoe time. Gotta get my shoe on before Ellie comes in and screams at me. Yells at me. Tom, how you doing? Shoe number 1. Sorry, guys. All right. Hey, Lady Sky. Hey, Long John. Long John, how are you? It is cold. It's still icy out. As I was saying the other day, I don't mind. Hey, Wassa. It's not that I mind the snow. It's here in the mid-Atlantic area. It snows, and then it'll warm up in the day. The snow starts to melt, and then it freezes overnight. So when I get out in the morning and try to walk or go for a run, there's just a sheet of black ice on the road, on the bike paths to take me through the woods. So it becomes a nuisance, becomes a safety hazard. At the age of 60, I don't fall down the way I used to. I used to bounce. I would fall, I would roll, I'd get back up, I'd laugh. Now I fall and I stay on the ground for a bit and I moan and I groan. I complain about my back, I complain about my knee, I complain about my shoulder. And then I slowly roll to my knees and I slowly stand up and I go, man, screw this. I'm going home, guys. 9 days till Christmas. It's coming. What's it says? Put some extra blankets out for the Sasquatch. Actually, no, they prefer the cold and do just fine. I would think they would. However, I am taking out an apple that is bad, bad apples, and a couple of bananas that have turned brown to feed whatever likes apples and bananas besides me. Hey, sissy. Long John says, it'll really warm up tomorrow, Yogi, especially around your way. Not a lot of ice and snow. Awesome. I haven't seen a beaver in about a month because the pond iced up quickly. Sometimes it'll go all year without icing over, or at least fully so. But more often it'll freeze up, but not until like January or February. However, Lady Sky says 8 days till Christmas. That means also, what day is the solstice this year? Is it on the 20th or the 21st? So that means, 5 days until the shortest day of the year. One way of looking at it. It's also the coming of light. For me, that's a beautiful way of looking at it. The shortest day of the year, the shortest, amount of daylight that we get through the entirety of the year, is also the day that signifies from this moment on, light increases. And I think metaphorically, there's a point in our life when we reach that as well. When we've had enough of the darkness, this is what St. John of the Cross would call the dark night of the soul. We will have the dark night of the soul. Course in Miracles paints this very vividly, and how we learn to ultimately trust the source. I've gone through my own dark night of the soul a couple times. I thought I was through it once and for all, only to have it come back. It can be triggered by external affairs, but it has nothing to do with the external. It has everything to do with the internal. We are being shown, where have we placed our loyalties? Where have we placed our trust? Hey, Kat. I'm doing pretty good this morning, Anna. Sissy says I do the same with fruits and veggies that turn quickly. As often as I remember, if it turns quickly, bugs are attracted to it. At least we know it's real food. True. They have found like some foods, fast foods, McDonald's, Burger King, um, that they have found it like at dumps and stuff years later, and it still appears fresh, still appears to be eatable. Food should not be that way. Longgen says, bah humbug. It's a tough time of year for many. I will be here every single day. If any Christmas orphans, if anyone who's struggling, if anyone who just wants to spend time, um, come on by. I don't know if I'll have any guests. I have nothing scheduled after Friday, but I'm going to start reaching out to some more people today. I've been neglectful with reaching out to people because I've been editing for the first time in my entire life. Semper says, dark night, the dark satellite. Everything passes without notice. Beautiful. Russell says, Long John, I humbug with you. Team humbug. Long John says, I'll be visited by 3 spirits before I wake up for Xmas. So when you say 3 spirits, are we talking tequila, Jack Daniels, and maybe vodka? We do have, I don't have any near me, Lady Sky. But I know we have them somewhere nearby. You get this last shoe on, guys, and then tie them up. We used to love stopping at Dairy Queen as kids when we'd go visit my grandmother up in Pennsylvania. I wrote about this after my father passed away. The Allegheny Mountains. The Allegheny Mountains are a chain from, I guess, Maryland, West Virginia, up through Pennsylvania, of the Appalachian Mountains. Appalachian Mountains are some of the most ancient mountains in the world. The reason why they are smaller than the Rockies and the Cascades and the Andes, the Himalayas and the Alps, it's because they're older. They've been worn down, much like me. I'm not actually bald. It's not from lack of growing hair. Life has worn me down. It's polished me. This is it. I'm a polished version of me. Pepper and Oreo Blizzard mouthwatering. I don't even remember the last thing I ever had at Dairy Queen. I wonder if they have anything vegan nowadays. So we would drive up through the Allegheny Mountains from just south of Baltimore. No matter Christmas, Thanksgiving, there would be icicles forming on the mountains, and we would stop at certain places that my dad had geological, and historical interest in. Fort Necessity, which was an important fort during the French and Indian Wars, or little points where we would overlook. Driving through the tunnel of Allegheny Mountain stands out in my mind. Deep love for those days. And I remember, above all else, the almost instinctive trust I had in the steadiness of my father driving through those mountain roads, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Never wavered. I don't know what he was thinking. I remember my dad going through snowstorms, blizzards, navigating almost unfailingly, thunderstorms. My faith in my father never wavered. Again, I don't know what he was thinking. Was he worried? Was he thinking, should I turn back? I have my family, my kids. I don't know. But I had, hey Jules, I had so much faith. I was never afraid. Never once afraid going over those roads. Never even gave it concern, because I believed my father was so strong, so steady, and loved me so much that he would see me through whatever. That's not metaphorical. However, let's turn it into a metaphor. This is the same trust that we have, or can develop, or maybe come to realize in God. Our guest last night we talked about symbolism. And our friend Tiger King, what's up, Skits? Our friend Tiger King asked some important questions about what if you don't believe in God? Everything this person was saying last night, Jackie, uh, references to God. And Tiger King, who does not have that same faith, said, what about but don't believe in God? And Jackie said, God's a concept. You don't need to believe in a concept. But the reality of just existing, that's God. Something, some greater intelligence took particles. And again, a particle is just a concept. An atom is just a concept. So we're working with concepts. But some greater intelligence arranged particles in such a way to form atoms. And they arranged atoms in such a way to form molecules, and molecules in a way to form cells. And cells were organized to become my body. They left off that hair particle. Come on, God. But everything was arranged. Some greater intelligence. Believe in that. Don't believe in the concepts. Don't believe in a God of the Bible. Don't believe in a God that anyone in a pulpit has told you. Don't believe in the God that I talk about or that Jackie talks about. Believe that organizing intelligence that influence everything to come into existence, from blooming flowers to trees that can bend in a summer storm, to constellations. Believe in that God that doesn't need a name, doesn't even need a description. And trust. If there's an intelligence that can allow a universe to have you spring forth into existence, man, doesn't that deserve our trust? You're here. Despite every astronomical odds of you even existing, you are here. And you are graced with everything you need the moment upon arising, every single morning. You don't have to ask for oxygen. You don't have to ask for a body that is flowing with blood, pumping with oxygen. You don't have to ask for anything. Nothing. You wake up, your eyes flutter open, you take a breath. That same intelligence that sustained the body through the night with you having to do anything, it didn't have to say, okay, heart, please just continue through the night. I didn't have to ask my lungs to cooperate with me when I wasn't paying attention. It didn't have to say, spleen, continue spleening. Trust in that. Hey, Danny. Jules says, is existence itself that which no greater can be thought? I don't know, Jules. I don't know. My own personal experience, I can think of nothing outside of my existence. And I've tried. You take self-inquiry, asking, who am I? Never settling on an answer. And when you get to that infinite silence that just echoes back more infinite silence, and yet somehow you're existing within it. The thought of I am is still existing within that infinite silence. I feel like I might be getting somewhere. This is what we talked about with Jackie last night. I don't have any answers to those big, big metaphysical questions. I don't have any answers to the philosophical questions. What I have is my own deep and abiding faith that I am cared for. Even when I'm afraid, even when I doubt. How do I know I'm cared for? Because I'm cared for. To this point in my life, forgiveness truly gives me everything I need. Let me write about what I wrote this morning. Let's see. Hey, Nexus. I've always thought that if I were a lonely God and there was nothing and I know everything, I'd split myself into every possible experience and then just get lost in it. What a beautiful metaphor. Now, the metaphysics of A Course in Miracles, the cosmology of A Course in Miracles, says we indeed got lost in it. That we are thoughts within the mind of God, but we had an idea. The Course calls it a tiny mad idea. What would it be like if we were our own creators? We have been endowed as thoughts of God, never separate from the mind of God. We have been endowed with every creative ability of God, except for one. We can never precede our creator. Creation never precedes its creation itself, right? But we had that thought, what would it be like if we were separate? Tiny mad idea in which we remembered not to laugh. And the universal structure of godness, of heaven, fractured, seemingly so. It's an impossibility that we could ever be our own creator. It's an impossibility that we could ever be separate from God. Literally, it's so impossible that it's impossible to even consider being separate, and yet we tried. And we had a dream. And the dream was that we were split from God. But it was over the same second it happened. But it was such a tragic event, seemingly so, that we have been reverberating with its echo ever since. But all we have to do is remember to laugh. Remember to laugh at the absurdity that we could be separate from God. And when we do, thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. Mel says, I like your outlook and hope you reach many. Long John says, I always had faith in my dad's driving as well, even his drinking driving. Well, to be honest, but never felt he loved or loves me, which sucks. Hey, Long John, do you talk to your father often? What's new, Skits? Nexus says, that's my issue with AI. We are trying to create something beyond ourselves, a synthetic God, something so intelligent that we couldn't even comprehend. Interesting. I haven't given AI a lot of thought. I'm often asked to. Do I like it? Do I not like it? I don't know. I'll be honest, I just don't have an opinion. I'm not smart enough. What's it says, is regurgitating actually a word? It is now. I often don't come across new words. Crack. Is that cra? Cra? We can make up our own words. You know, every word is made up, right? Once we would just walk through the world barefoot, happy, and someone stubbed their toe on this hard thing on the ground. And he was sitting there holding his toe. And someone came along and said, what happened? And the guy said, I stubbed my toe on that, I don't know, what should I call it? And the guy said, what about if we call it a rock? And the guy said, yeah, I stubbed my toe on that rock. And ever since, it's been called a rock. Hey, Eric, should machines or robots have our unalienable rights? No, I don't think so, because they're machines and robots. But some might say we are machines and robots, right? Some might say. And I think we are until we realize our own true nature. Long just says, if you're in the same mix as me, you don't understand how you could possibly think someone or something put you here that is greater than you, or I could ever imagine. Well, what we have to consider, again, is that self-inquiry of who am I? The ego doesn't think anything is greater than itself. And the ego only exists to prove that nothing is greater than myself. It's the ego that doesn't believe in God. It's the ego that thinks it's separated from God. It's the ego that believes, do unto others before they do unto you. Fortunately, we are not the ego. I'm not saying the ego is good. I'm not saying the ego is bad. I'm saying the ego doesn't exist. It's a thought structure, a belief construction, construct. And neuroscience shows, meditation shows, Buddhism shows, yoga shows, A Course in Miracles shows, every spiritual tradition, as well as every modern neuroscience shows there is no such thing as an actual self. Let's see. Longja says, I believe in God is what I was trying to say. I don't understand how others don't, but I'm not in those shoes. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, my friend. Next it says, I am or me is ego, my sense of self, how I identify myself. Where'd that go? Ego is part of you that allows you to experience this without your own opinion. Ego is a part of us that wants validation. I agree with most of that. But I wouldn't say it's a part of you. That's my only, as long as we think it's part of us, how do we transcend something that is a part of us? You know, physically, I can't transcend my heart. It can't transcend my brain. So how can I transcend something that is part of me? But when I realize that it is a construct, that there is no actual I, that no neuroscientist, no neurosurgeon could dissect the brain and say, I see it, that little command center with a little tiny commander angrily shouting and waving its fists at the world. Hey, Kamari, how are you? My Facebook friend. Let's see, where is it? Hold on. Maybe I'll see if he can come up. Maybe he's the one that I will reach out to this morning. Here, I'm making a mess of everything. Chris Nyber. I am going to reach out to him. He wrote a wonderful book. It's a bestseller. No Self, No Problem. How neuropsychology is catching up to Buddhism. Chris earned his PhD in cognitive neuropsychology at the University of Toledo, specializing in the difference between the left and right brain sides of the human brain. He is currently a professor at Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania, where he teaches courses on consciousness, mindfulness, left and right brain differences, and artificial intelligence. He would be a person that I would love to talk to. We've exchanged stuff on Facebook in groups before. But man, I'd be a little intimidated. Very, very smart. But he's a really good guy too. He has a wonderful YouTube channel. If you check him out. And I believe it's called No Self, No Problem. I will reach out to him this morning. Is our friend Bhakta Tom here? Tom, I hope you're still here, Tom. There he is. As I was reaching for Chris's book, my hands touched upon Sadabhakti, The Path of Pure Devotion, which is showing me that I need to read it. So I will. In your honor, my friend. Dr. Tom is our resident Krishna devotee. He is a Bhakti yogi, very sincere in his practice. He would say, well, I'm trying. You know what? Sincerity is about the effort, right? Alex says, prayers to Charlie Kirk, prayers to Charlie Kirk, prayers to Charlie Kirk's widow, prayers to Charlie Kirk's children, prayers to those who felt a sense of loss after his passing. Prayers to everyone. Politics never has to enter into our compassion, ever. Tom says, no offense, but it sounded like you want him to give you everything, nothing bad to happen. That's not how life works. Next it says, when the ego dies during a psychedelic experience, you are no longer, say, me. All you know is your experience. In experience, there's no longer me. You are an empty slate and no sense of self. Agreed. I've had that experience, not just through extra curricular activity, so to say. I've had it during self-inquiry. Most specifically, when I do the Douglas Harding headless pointing experiment, I can have it just now. Always available. Reality is ever present. As well as deep states of meditation. More often than not these days, I have it when I practice forgiveness. When I feel those resentments come creeping in without me even realizing it, And I'm able to catch myself and say, I don't want this. I can choose peace instead of this. And the way I choose peace isn't to consciously say, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. I don't want to think this. It is saying, I am having these thoughts. I need help. And we ask the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is a symbol, the same as everything else is a symbol, but it's a symbol of our right-mindedness. It's a symbol of that which is already and always connected to God. And I say, I need help. I want love instead of this. I want to experience the reality of love and who I am instead of the illusion of my separation, the illusion of my impermanence, the illusion that this is something that can actually hurt me. Let's see. God doesn't help me in my life. Interesting. Tom says, no offense, but it sounds like you want him to give you everything and nothing bad to happen. That's not how life works. True. I would say that God has given you everything. The bare template of our friend neurological toxin. You have been granted the bare template of a life. Everything. Hey, thank you so much, my friend. We just got a jewel. Hey, Derek. Big Man says, God so loves the world, he gave his only son. Thank you, Derek. I disagree about God having favorites. Well, as God's favorite, all I can say is two things. As a favorite, as his top favorite, as her top favorite, all I can say is that's your prerogative, and nanny nanny boo boo, I'm the favorite. Sorry guys, just how it works. It's, some of us are more loved than others. None of that is absolutely true. Am I trying to become a Hindu? Nope. I am not trying to become a Hindu. But yes, you can quote me on that. Nanny nanny boo boo. Two girls, again, thank you so much for those jewels. Neurological says, I dislike being alive. This is where I think self-inquiry becomes very, very helpful. Who is it? Who is it that is, who is it that dislikes being alive? When you touch base, the you that thinks that you'd rather not be alive doesn't really exist. All there is life. There is the belief that neurological toxin, there's a belief that you are this thing that is separate and that life is happening. Ho'oponopono, which is the Hawaiian shamanistic art of forgiveness and reconciliation, talks about 4 points of consciousness. These are described in levels. Levels doesn't mean higher or lower or whatever. It just means where we are, and it's a flexible. We can be at one, and in a moment we can be at the other. But this is a lower vibration of consciousness, in which says, life happens to me. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Life happens to me. And right now it feels like everything that life is doing to me sucks. And it does. Because we are experiencing bad things. Life is happening to me, and what's happening to me right now pretty much sucks. Right? The next stage, it vibrates a little higher. Life is happening for me. This is when good things are happening. And we say, well, I've turned the corner. I used to think bad things are happening, but now, hey, I got the job, I got the girl, I got the car. Life is happening to me, and it's some pretty good stuff. Right? Or life is happening for me, and I got some pretty good stuff. As soon as we lose that stuff, we're back to that lower level. Life is happening to me. Man, I thought things were turning around. The third is life is happening as me. I'm an expression of life. This is what Tom was talking about. Life is happening as me. The good, the bad. Life is happening as me. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So we can still revert back to that lower vibration, slightly lower or all the way down, hitting that rock bottom state of believing that life is happening to me. The fourth, what would we consider the highest? Life is happening through me. I am an aspect of life simply happening. There's no me that is separate from life. There is just life happening through me. I'm an expression of the divine. The good, the bad, the indifference, the whatever. It's all being expressed. Life, me. It's a beautiful way. You can touch base on that. Now, Ho'oponopono offers a tool. Hey, Miss Pepper. Miss Pepper says you are never separate from life. That's that state of Ho'oponopono. This is also what our friend Nexus was talking about. When that sense of the I is diminished to the point of being non-existent through, a little extra help. Ho'oponopono says, likens it to a whiteboard. All of our thoughts, all of our experiences, all of our intentions have been filled on this whiteboard. Every morning, all the stuff that we wrote down the next day, some of it has been erased through the process of sleep, but it still lingers. And some things have been written so often, they seem like a permanent fixture upon that whiteboard. Maybe from even previous lives, and we're experiencing all that was written on that whiteboard. We wake up, and instantly, all the stuff that was written on it, the bad stuff, it's still there, and we review it. Man, got another day, and all this crap that's written on this board is still there. Ho'oponopono, 4 phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Begins to erase everything that we wrote on that whiteboard. It gives us a fresh slate. And it actually reverses thoughts of linear time so that everything we think has ever happened begins to be erased, giving us the present moment of a clean whiteboard. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And people say, well, what do I have to be sorry for? I didn't do this. I didn't do this to myself. Bad things happen to me. What Ho'oponopono is saying, and what forgiveness is offered through A Course in Miracles is saying, is that I am sorry because it's a participatory universe. And I didn't realize that my very thoughts were acts of creation. I didn't realize that me being pure consciousness itself, or being the I am that springs from Brahma, the Absolute, that I had all the creative powers of the universe itself, and that by witnessing anything that has ever occurred in the world, anything that comes to my attention, I am a participant in. Not good, not bad, just a participant in. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize this. Please forgive me, because having not realized that, I have allowed this to come on that infinite whiteboard of existence. Thank you, because now I know. And I love you seals the deal. Now that I know, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I can erase all that stuff that was written there. I can offer me, and by extension you. I can offer you, and by extension me, clean slate through the power of forgiveness. Collapsing timelines, as Kat so wisely put in the live stream yesterday. Longa says, you should wear a dark color shirt every day, Yogi. So much easier to see everyone's username. I will keep that in consideration. I wore the dark shirt to reflect shadow yogi. The yogi emerging from the shadows. Dark yogi. Menacing. Right? I know that's what you're thinking. Yep, I'm a breathwork coach, pranayama instructor, as well as a meditation teacher, certified through the Chopra Foundation. Shadow yogi, Did I scare you guys when I did that? Let's see. Bro, you eat fish? I do not eat fish. Let's see. Hey, Pope Pony. This trail account is perfect for yogis. I never even considered that. Let's see. Hey, Praveen. Praveen, sorry that I missed you. How are you, my friend? Hey, Jack. Shut up your face, so Anna. This is also, what's the matter? Thank you, Wassa. I remember you coming in this account once before. Hey, guys. Our friend Tiger King would like to get to 50 so he could live stream. I don't know if Tiger King is lurking. I don't know if we can invoke his presence if I mention him 3 times. Tiger King, Tiger King, Tiger King. But he wanted to come up this evening. I don't think it's going to happen because we have Tom Wakechild coming up. I'm glad you're doing okay, Praveen. What's my diet like? Let's see. I eat a lot of oatmeal. I eat a lot of legumes. I eat whole grains. I eat a whole lot of fruit. And I eat steamed vegetables. I also eat a lot of raw vegetables as well. So, yeah, Tom. Siddhabhakti. Sitting on my shelf waiting for me. It was waiting for you to reignite that love of devotion, and I'm going to dive into it. It's a beautiful book. Radha and Krishna. The author is Swami B.V. Tirtha Maharaja. Are you familiar? In the end, it has some outtakes from some of the Upanishads. Ahankara, false ego, the most subtle layer that covers the spirit's soul. And unfortunately for me, it has a pronunciation guide. How come no pronunciation guide ever gives me a guide to saying pronunciation guide? What's up with that? Here's an answer, guys, right at the beginning. Abhidheya. How did I do on the pronunciation, Tom? Why should we try to get Krishna? Because if we can get to complete reality, we get everything. By getting whom, we get all. By knowing whom, we know all. That is Krishna. We will have no want of anything else. All of our desires will be fulfilled and all of our problems solved. So how do we get Krishna? This is described by the Habardhiya or Bhakti, the practice of devotion. We get that which we are devoted to. Here's the thing. That's an unalterable law, a cosmic law. We get that which we are devoted to. How many of us are devoted to materialism? And I don't mean that in the sense of acquiring stuff, although it can mean that as well. But materialism, we believe everything is solid. The desk. I have a deep belief that it is solid. I believe so deeply that I stub my toe on it. I believe so deeply that I write on it every morning. My computer sits on it. I believe it so deeply that I actually hear a sound that can't truly exist. Because there's no such thing as a desk. A desk is a concept. It's a construct. If I took this desk apart, there would be pieces of something that would not look like a desk unless I had seen a desk before. If I took each one of those pieces and I examined it under a nuclear microscope, I would see a collection of cells and molecules and atoms and particles and subatomic particles and subatomic particles. And so maybe I would get to strings, that we're invisibly vibrating from whatever it is that causes an absolute vibration? Brahma? Does any of that say desk to you, and yet somehow it appears here magically each morning? I'm devoted to the material, and so I have a material world. I'm devoted to the ego, so I see a world created by the ego. And yet, what if I did a subtle shift and devoted myself to Krishna, to Brahma? What if I devoted myself through the act of forgiveness, which for me is a great act of bhakti, because it says, I am devoted to seeing who you truly are, and not the material in which this physical body is constructed of. Sarah says, I haven't finished it, but I've had fun with Coincidence, a matter of chance, a synchronicity by Brian Ingalls. Dug it out of some of my dad's books. Nice. I have, shoot, I can't remember his name. Do you see a yellow book up there on its side? Is a book, Synchronicity by, man, I can't remember his name, and he's one of my favorite authors. Tom says, the material world is temporary, all of it. And more than that, it doesn't even really exist. There's no such thing as a material world. This is a gift of mantra meditation. Transcendental, or what I teach, primordial sound meditation, is it takes the mantra of the vibratory quality and existence the moment we were born, that took us from the unmanifest to the manifest. And when we meditate on that vibration, when we meditate upon that mantra, that sound, that primordial sound, it returns us back to the manifest. Hey, you know what we should do? I should read a little of this every morning. Sambada. This is the opening. What is our, and this is what we've been talking about. What is our conception of ultimate reality? Who is God? Who are the jiva souls, the living beings of the material world? What are our relationship between God, the soul, and the world? In Sanskrit, knowledge of these things is called sambada, relationship. These topics have been discussed in detail in the Vedas, the sacred scriptures of India, and all saints throughout history have spoken or expounded on the understanding of them. What is the ultimate goal of life according to the Vedas? It is divine love for the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. The meaning of the name Krishna is one who attracts and gives happiness to all. Krishna is the all-attracting principle. He possesses infinite qualities to attract us, and therefore the Supreme Person. He's the embodiment of all existence, all knowledge, and all bliss. There's nothing equal or superior to him. There cannot be more than one absolute or more than one infinite being. If there's something outside the infinite, infinity loses its meaning, and the infinite becomes finite. Not even a particle of dust can be imagined outside the infinite or outside the absolute. The absolute is defined as that which exists in, for, and by itself. Everything is within Krishna, and everything is subservient to him. So if we're talking about not even a piece of dust, not even a particle of a piece of dust exists outside of Krishna, imagine you thinking that you exist outside of Krishna. It's an impossibility. An impossibility. Guys, I've got to wrap up in just a minute. Thank you guys for being here. Michael says, I need your help. Whose help do you need? Hey, professional. Thanks for being here, my friend. Michael says he's from Uganda. Welcome from Uganda, my friend. Free says, I love my country. Praveen loves his country so much that he is in deep service to his country, protecting his country, protecting his people. Jack says, when I'm on a stream or lake at daylight pitching a fly, it sure seems all real, which is perfect. I love when things seem all real, because we know this moment, this particular moment, with the sun hitting the water just right, with the trout biting or not biting, that perfect cast, it's so temporary. It's so fragile. We can't help but fall in love with that moment. Everything had to coincide perfectly for this moment to exist at all, and yet it's already changing. Even as we're deeply appreciative and in love with what's happening, even as that trout bites or looks lazily at the bait and says, nah, I'm good. I had a bug just the other day. It's also perfect. And the fact that it doesn't truly exist makes us love it even more. The fact that it's a temporary appearance, man, how can you not help but cherish it? That fragile beauty of everything. When you look at someone and you see that they are a once upon, as Robert Saltzman says, a once upon, they will never appear exactly this way ever again. Ever. You can't help but fall deeply in love with everything, everything and everyone that comes across your path. All right, I got to get out and take a walk on the ice. Is that what Lee Reed said? Hey, Richard, I hope you're enjoying the movie. And it says, the fragile beauty of everything. Bye, Praveen. Jack says, only you, Yogi, can put it so beautifully. And yet we all experience it. You know that experience so well, Jack. When you put that in the comment section, that it all seems so real, that just struck me as so beautiful. That because it really does, and that's what makes it so awesome. The emptiness, the nothingness, that everything is made of. Everything is made of nothing. But that nothingness is pure potentiality for everything to exist. That everything is made from that nothing and it is appearing here so that we can enjoy a moment at a lake. What a gift, man. What a gift. What a gift that we've been given. And what a gift that we get to give. And someone like Jack, who has a beautiful channel, shares that moment with us so it can be revisited. The moment itself will never ever exist again, but Jack has captured a fleeting glimpse of it and offered for all of us to enjoy. Hey, what mountains are you driving through, Hammer? Be safe, my friend. Richard says, Yogi, did you ever see the inside the walls of Folsom Prison? The stories I could tell you, my friend. The stories I can tell you. One night in Reno, you know how it is. And it says, the moment itself will never last again. This moment itself will never last again. Jack says, dude, you're going to make me cry. Love you, my friend. Jack Prepper. I met Jack, speaking of awesome channels. No frills, no F's, no mercy. Don't let the name fool you guys. There is deep, deep love on Maddie's channel. And the right people show up. The right people show up at Maddie's. I've met awesome people there. The fact that I'm friends, man, the fact that I can call someone like Maddie a friend, like a true friend, a deep friend, is amazing. Don't tell him I said that. Big, tough-looking Maddie has a sensitive heart. One of the best people I know. One of the best people I know. Jack says, Brother Maddie. Tom says, Reno, the biggest little town in the world. or something like that. Maddie doesn't want to get all sensitive on camera and destroy the illusion. Actually, truth is, Maddie doesn't try to be anything other than Maddie. Hey, Ahmed, my friend. So I have a guest today, this afternoon, 1 o'clock. This evening, I think Tom Wakechild's coming up. Tom's been doing a regular little class on my channel. I forget what the topic is today. This evening, or I'm sorry, this afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have All Things Course in Miracles with special guest, Maureen Muldoon. Maureen was a highly accomplished professional actress and singer. You have seen her in shows. And when you see her, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen her. It's not someone who was, she was a working, successful actress. And I think she still might be. But she also had a deeper calling. Nothing wrong with being an actress, right? But she had, and we'll ask her how this came about. Right now, she's a performer and teacher. Performer, practitioner, and teacher of A Course in Miracles. She weaves humor with timeless spiritual wisdom and practical tools for living. She wrote a book called The Spiritual Vixen about some of the bad things that occurred in her life that helped her turn towards a more loving source. So she's going to be up to share a whole bunch of stuff. She's got a beautiful voice. I hope you guys come and hang out with us. Seven hours. She will be up in 7 hours. And then Friday, my teacher of teachers, the one who taught me how to meditate, one of 3 people, Dr. Shulia Patel. She's going to come up. We're going to talk meditation. We're going to talk yoga. And we're going to talk, most important of all, sleep. Do you have any difficulty in sleeping? She has a new book that is rapidly climbing up the bestseller list called Awakened Sleep. How to cultivate deeper, quicker, more restorative sleep. And maybe even more important, let's see. Radio says, Yogi, did you get my message to Big Al the other day? Radio, I didn't. I apologize, my friend. But I want to assure you, he was not. Don't take anything that like you've done anything, Always be here and always share. Always open up. If I thought that you wouldn't share whatever it is you're going through on my channel, it would make me feel like my channel wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. Let's see. Double Explorer says, Plur stands for peace, love, unity, respect. Awesome. Awesome, my friend. Thank you for that. All right, let me get outside and start walking, or maybe sliding would be a better way. Skin and Bones says, say good morning again, brother. Hey, Skin and Bones. Radio says, I know Yogi, but I'm sharing. I made him leave the chat. I have to think about others when I say my stuff, and that night I didn't. Hey, I wonder if instead of not sharing, how about if like I do what I try to do, and Sissy does this, before we ring a bell, if we say this might be a trigger warning, that if anyone is sensitive to this matter, maybe turn the volume down, maybe exit the room. But I always want this to be a place where, man, if you have something that is troubling your mind, put it out there. I'm not saying that we can fix it or make it better, but we can certainly provide you company and love. Tom says, have a fantastic day, everyone. Hope to see everyone a little later. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to you. All right, we're out of here too, guys. Again, come on by, hang out this afternoon for sure. I think you're gonna like Maureen. Oh, and Friday, Dr. Sheila Patel, and her book. It's called Awaken Sleep, because not only is it going to help you sleep, but it's also providing a means of having us awaken during our deepest sleep, not physically, spiritually. How do you use sleep for a spiritual practice? Come on by and find out. Love y'all. Take care.